Fire Emblem 12, Lunatic Mode ZPG, Chapter 22. What you all need to understand about me is that I am a goober who just can't keep his mouth shut. I proudly declared in Chapter 19 that we would see Vyland again, and the reason is that I thought he was the best candidate for longbow sniper in this chapter and the next, since all my actually good combat units are busy as swordmasters and Draco Knights. But that's wrong. He's actually second best behind Belf, who is in a distant first place. Look at those bases! As a sniper, this man is ridiculous. But of course, I also had to open my stupid mouth in Chapter 18 saying we wouldn't see Belf again. So I doubly screwed myself, and I'm gonna go ahead and use Vyland because I said I would. Also joining us for this chapter are Mikkolas and Etzel. Mikkolas is pretty amazing as far as FE12 pre-promotes go. 22 speed as a Draco Knight is just disgusting. I put my 3 new Spirit Dusts and the Speed Wing and the Angelic Robe on Katarina, of course, but the energy drop I bought is going to Mikkolas. This chapter introduces the Mage Dragon enemy, which is completely immune to magic damage. It's not a crazy idea to double them with Swordmasters and a Forged Wormslayer like in Chapter 14, but the problem with this chapter and the next are movement thresholds. I need a 10 move unit to be killing the Mage Dragons. However, you would need 28 speed to double the Mage Dragons in both chapters, and the speed caps for Paladin and Draco Knight are 25 and 3, so that's just not possible. My only option is to forge some crit onto a Dragon Pike with whatever money I can scrape together, and hope to one-shot stuff. So this is, of course, named Jafar. On the topic of killing dragons, this chapter has a truly wonderful gift for us in the form of Nagi, a Manakete with pretty high offensive stats, although of course she's still slow enough to be doubled by everything, but you'll see how awesome she is pretty quickly. The boss room at the end of this hallway has a ton of enemies inside, but the path to get there isn't too bad. It's a little challenging because killing one enemy almost always puts you in range of the next one, which in my case means you're gonna die. So I need to burn a rescue and get Mikkolas all the way out to this first Mage Dragon, since Feena's busy helping Katarina get to this Berserker, which Minerva easily zeroes out with the Hawkclare. Jafar gets right to work, and now we're only in range of this Swarm Tome Sorcerer, so we're safe for now. Medea has higher skill than Leiden, but I need Leiden in that spot for next turn, so he got the kill, and a little trade chain here gets the Master Sword back to Medea. Marth, of course, can only survive this Swarm Tome with a Pure Water, no big deal. I want to mention that benching Zane is probably pretty rare for endgame, but we need to move fast to beat reinforcements, and so I just can't afford to spend one of Feena's turns helping him catch up after transforming. And also, everyone has kind of a specialized job here, so there isn't really anyone I can leave out. I suppose he could imitate Mikkolas after getting rescued and bench Palla, but I wouldn't do that to her. Turn 2 is really the only important turn here, so we need some crits, including the Mercurius, which only Leiden can do, of course. Standing ovation for Leiden after his final contribution to the run. What a truly fantastic unit, one of my best. Now there's still plenty of non-crits and a level up on this turn, so it's very easy to shuffle things around until it works. I made this work the very first time I got past turn 1. Now check this out. With some wimpy chip damage from Vyland's longbow, Nagi gets dance extended to land 55 base damage and take out this dragon. What a monster! The Divine Stone, of course, has 18 base might and deals effective damage to dragons, so there you go. Finally, Intelligent gives me a Manakete worth a shit. An easy Master Sword crit from Medea takes out this Swordmaster that Etzel helped out with, and because I'm bad at preparation, I need Yumina to give her rescue staff to Katarina for the siege setup later. As always, having 2 healers is super helpful. Katarina gets some good chip damage, and Mikkolas is able to exactly kill this Berserker with a Hawkeye crit, and only because of the energy drop. That is the sole reason I had to buy it. I don't think I had any other options for killing this guy, especially with his capped speed of 28. So yeah, that turn had 4 crits, 5 non-crits, and a level up. Pretty easy to make it work with how high my crit rates are at this point. This next sorcerer has the Meteor Tome instead of Swarm, which hits much harder, and Marth cannot survive it, so he's hanging back for now. The enemies are closing in on us, but after Chapter 19, I'm not even breaking a sweat. A round of applause for the Excalibur Tome, ladies and gentlemen. Its final kill, still relevant in the endgame of 0% growths, and it made it to the end without breaking. There's a Thoron Tome Sorcerer up here with 43 total might that needs to die, and he'll one-shot Midia, so she's using a Pure Water before getting danced up to fight him. The other Sorcerer has 40 might and the Glower Tome, which ignores resistance, so Midia can't fight him at all. Only Mikolas and Katarina can, and I needed Mikolas to kill the Meteor Sorcerer further up. Katarina would get doubled here without the Speedwing, but with 2 points of extra damage from Belf using the longbow and using Aura instead of Starlight, this Sorcerer would actually die here and she wouldn't even get countered. Shout out to the Brave Sword, that's the one time I'm using it. And shout out to Hawkeye for its last crit of the run. Like I said, this Sorcerer is only alive because I'm stubbornly using Vyland instead of Belf, but as it is, Palla picks up her final contribution to the run, standing ovation for the Queen of FE12. I would have liked to finish on this turn, because reinforcements will show up nearby on enemy phase, but I couldn't make it work. So this is probably the biggest reason I needed Katarina as a Sage. The person who rescues Marth into the boss room next turn needs to already be close to the door, and Katarina is the only rescue user who can survive the impending reinforcement dragons here near the door. Feena is barely able to help Katarina get in position for this, so that in particular is why I couldn't have Feena waiting around to help Zane catch up. She needed to keep moving her max distance. As you can see, the game really wants you to get out of here soon. Katarina would get doubled by this Fire Dragon without the Speedwing, but with Nosferatu, she would actually still survive. So yeah, that Speedwing was not actually necessary if I brought Belf instead of Vyland. Etzel and Leiden are not even a little afraid of these reinforcements, don't worry. Nagi performs some more beautiful dragon murder for us. Thank you very much, Nagi. And then this is why it was so important for my Mage Dragon Killer to have 10 movement. They need to go from this one to the boss, thanks to the Again Staff. And you can see even with her max movement every turn, Feena wouldn't have been able to dance anyone to the boss. So we did have to use the Again Staff. I used my standard tricks here. I didn't get the crit on the boss, so I loaded the save state after the first kill, leveled up with Militia to get different RNG, bada bing bada boom. Katarina rescues Marth into a throne room full of death for the seas. I'm getting flashbacks to Chapter 6. We're almost there, everybody. Thanks for watching.